Hey y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Let's see comments up here. Thank y'all for joining in on a nice and beautiful Sunday. Alright, trying to get it up on my screen so I can see the comments a little bit better. Alright, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, baby. Hey, Angie. Hey, hey. Tanya, Lulu, Priscilla, Sabrina, Gospel Glam. Hey, Valerie. I can't see any names above that. How y'all doing? Got a hangover. Oh, birthday shenanigans. Okay, okay, okay. Hope you had a chance to enjoy your birthday. Oh, shoot. Kalia, I think I got it right. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Yes, but I missed the party. Y'all, I had to take some medicine last night for my allergies. And I already take medicine for sleep, and that was not a good combination. Let me tell you. You ready to go night sugar? Ready to go night sugar? Till 4 o'clock. Oh, he did the slumber party. Okay, okay. Hey, small fry, how you doing? How you doing? So y'all did have the slumber party. Okay, that's what's up. Glad you enjoyed yourselves. I hate I missed it last night. But we're ready to get on this conversation today. Ready to get on this conversation. After we had the last conversation about narcissists. Hey Keith, how you doing? About narcissists or narcissism. I had people sending me different topics and things that they wanted me to discuss in my inbox. Hey Cassandra. Hey, hey, hey. Um, and so I'm going to deal with a couple of them. There was one I remember Block suggested. There were a couple other things that I am doing well. Thanks for asking. Um, I'm going to go with a few of them today. We're going to touch on this one particular thing. But I'm going to start going over a few of them because that was the purpose of the channel in the beginning. So we'll go ahead and go through this thing here. Ebony, hey, how you doing? So today, don't know what else to do. I hope y'all got out y'all pads and y'all pens so we can go ahead and get this conversation started, you know, and see what happens. We're gonna see what we get from all this. The phone lines will be open. Firestone, hey, hey, the phone line will be open. Don't make me get caught up in trying to give y'all this phone number. I got it written down somewhere. Hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. The number is 803-888-8268. 803-888-8268. Should you decide that you have something on your mind that you want to get off. Now y'all see I come with notebook and toe. Y'all know what it is. Thank you, K baby. So today we are looking at the great pretenders. Yeah. They wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. And when we talk about great pretenders, we're talking about people that indulge in what we call mythomania, um, pathological lying, habitual lying. Um, just extreme, all out, just bar none exaggerations. They exaggerate the exaggerations. So we're going to touch on that today. Just a little bit, we're going to look at what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like, you know. We're going to touch on a few of, touch on a few of those things, and we'll have some conversations. So the first thing that I want to do is we're going to start this thing off right. So the first thing I want to do is define a lie. Because we're not going to sit on this channel and act like nobody that's in this chat, hey, Faye, has never told a lie. Because at some points in life, if you don't know nothing else, know that we have all told a lie at some point in our lives. Okay? And we're going to get an amen on that one. Demetria, hey, how you doing? How you doing? So, just want to be clear on that. Let me do this real quick so my phone won't go off. Okay. So I want to see who's trying to be honest today. I want to see. If you ever lied before, throw your hand up in the chat. I'm looking at both of them. Oh, Miss Young, how you doing? How you doing? I said, if you never lied before, throw your hand up in the chat. Y'all don't hear me. I said, if you never, okay, Keith. Okay. Keith just lied about not lying. See what I'm saying? So, so what we're looking at, we talk about a lie. We're going beyond what you would call the little white lie, a little fib. I don't know why the lie got to be white. Don't ask me. But we're going above the little white lie, the little fib, the little stuff. Try to throw them out there real quick. Valerie, hey, how you doing? So we're going to say that let me take that to the country, but any untrue declaration made knowingly and purposefully with an expectation of personal gain is always considered a lie. One more time. Any untrue declaration made knowingly and purposefully with the expectation of personal gain is always considered a lie. Not sometimes, not on Tuesday, not on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, not at 11:58. It is always considered a lie. Now I hear a lot of people saying, man, this person is a compulsive liar. This person is a habitual liar. Well, everybody's pretty much saying the same darn thing. You got different terms. They're usually used interchangeably, but yes, it's a little bit different between them. But today we're going to use them interchangeably. They all mean the same darn thing. So, to start this off, I gave y'all a word, mythomania. Mythomania. That is the scientific word for a bald-faced liar. Hey Ruth, how you doing? Mythomania is the abnormal or pathological tendency to exaggerate or tell lies. Okay? Hey Trial and Error, how you doing? One more time. An abnormal or pathological tendency to exaggerate or tell lies. So y'all got another word that y'all can throw around there. Mythomania. Oh boy, you know you a mythomaniac. You hear me? I mean, you a real mythomaniac. You so mythomaniac, your maniac is maniac. You know what I'm saying? Mythomaniac. That is a compulsive, pathological, habitual, all the time liar. So I just want to put that out there real quick. I just want to put it out there. Butterflyness, hey, how you doing? So I wanted to look at this thing from a couple different ways. So I went and I looked at the neurological side. I wanted to look at the biological side. Hey, Bobcat, how you doing? Loyalty 108, hey, how you doing? I wanted to look at it from different angles. So when I looked at the neuro and the biological side, I looked at those two things together. And one of the things that rung true was that is lying is harder on the brain than telling the truth. Dang, who would have thunk? Lying is harder on the brain than telling the truth. Now don't get me wrong, lying is easier than telling the truth in your day-to-day, but on your brain, lying is harder on your brain than telling the truth. Reason being, number one, you have to invent that falsehood. G2G, hey, how you doing? How you doing? The first thing you have to do is invent that falsehood, that lie. You got to invent it. Hey, Jersey girl, you got to come up with it. You know, you got to marinate that thing in your spirit. You know, you got to come up with this whole falsehood. And then on top of you having to come up with this falsehood, you also have to suppress the truth while you're telling the lie. Does that make sense? You know the truth, but those aren't the words that are coming out of your mouth. So you have to suppress the truth while you sitting up here making up this lie. Y'all got me? So you got those two things. Now it gets even more difficult. You have to be you got to be pathological enough to maintain those two things in your working memory at the same darn time. Do you understand? See, when you tell them the truth never changes. So you don't have to go back and you don't have to remember things because you know exactly what happened, because the story will always be the same because it's the truth. But when you have to go and develop and shape and mold a lie the way that you need it to be while knowing what the truth really is, you got to sit there. You got to remember all 6 of the lies that you told. You got to remember who you told them to. You got to remember who, what, when, where, how. You got to remember all this stuff. So you putting your brain into overload. And it already has a little day-to-day stuff that it has to take care of already. And you coming with this this mythomania mess, you know, just adding more chaos to it all. My. So let's go. So some scientists have looked at this thing, and it may sound crazy, right? But people have actually tried to find out scientifically why people lie the way that they do. You got me? They sat down. They have been doing research studies. I thought I was the only one that knew some liars. You hear me? Clearly, I'm not the only one that knows some. So some other people got so bothered by people lying so bad, they were like, you know what? We need to study this thing because something ain't right. Something ain't right, you know? And so they went and they did a study, and they found three psychological components of lying or deception. So I'm going to hit those 3 real quick. So the first one is realizing that you have information that is unknown to others. Doesn't mean that information is true. Okay? But realizing that you have information that other people don't know. The second thing, whenever you're developing this lie, you have to think about how the recipient is going to handle that lie? How are they going to interpret whatever it is you're saying? How are they going to interpret that? Now that falls into the theory of mind. You sitting there trying to think about how whatever you're developing, hey Pico, whatever you're developing, how is that going to look on the other side to the person that's receiving this information? So you thinking all this stuff through. See, when you lie, you don't even be thinking that you got all this stuff going on. It take a lot to develop a lie. You hear me? You got all these different processes working at the same time. So you got to develop the lie first. You got to look at how that lie is going to come across to the person on the receiving end of it all to make sure it makes sense. You know, people keep saying, make that make sense. Well, in your mind, you trying to make your lie make sense to the person that's on the other side. And the third thing is understanding the advantage, your personal advantage of this lie. Because only you know how you're going to benefit off this lie. The other person is just an innocent bystander. They don't even know that the bullet coming. You know, they standing there minding their own business and don't even know that they're about to be under attack. They got a sharpshooter on the loose. That's what I call habitual liars, sharpshooters. They got a sharpshooter on the loose, and they had no idea. They had no idea it was coming. They ain't asked for it. They didn't ask to be a part of it. Hey, the thing is with the habitual or a pathological liar, and I would also say the sad thing is, I need y'all to think about this. These people would rather deal with the consequences of the lie rather than dealing with the consequences of telling the truth. They would rather deal with the consequences of the lie. You see what I'm saying? Even though that can mean losing a friend, losing a loved one, losing a job, or opportunity at a job, like anything, they would rather deal with the consequences of making up this fabricated act versus saying, no, I don't have that. No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't do that. What's wrong with that picture? We talked the other day about perception and how powerful that perception is. It's not so much of, listen, when you start believing your own stuff, and okay, we're gonna move on. A pathological liar. Also, when someone is lying, they don't think you believe, and they will keep adding on to lying until they're able to feel you win. Come on, Lady Earth. Come on. So we're going to break down a pathological liar. This is the chronic behavior of compulsive or habitual lying. Okay? You lie out of habit. The Pico, sometimes you lie out of habit. Like you didn't even think about it, like you really woke up like this. You understand? You done lied so bad that your body don't feel right. It's like some clinicians consider lying to be an addiction. You understand what I'm saying? So just like if you can't get that hit that you need to get, like if you don't throw a couple lies out there, your day ain't gonna go right. Cause you gotta get that fix. That lying, that's a fix. You gotta get that fix for the day. You gotta get that fix for the hour. And if you don't get that thing, the pathological liar tends to lie for no apparent reason. You know, we sitting here and we be like, Dad, why did they lie? They didn't have to lie. You ever had that conversation? I know y'all know some people like that. They just lie, just be lying. Like, they ain't have to lie about that. Or they just come out the blue with the lie. It wasn't even part of the conversation. And they just come out the blue with this bald-faced lie that they didn't even have to do. And you just sitting there like, why? Why? Because they're a pathological liar. That's why. That's why. Now, this could be the result of something lying to kick it. Hey, Queen Emerald, yeah, a lot of them lying to kick it. This could be the result of some type of mental disorder. We discussed that earlier this week. Yeah, it definitely could be some type of personality disorder. I would say that more so falls in line with the antisocial personality disorder. Hey, Darlene, how you doing? An antisocial personality disorder. And if you want to go even deeper than that, that's actually one of the main components of a sociopath. So let's go there. Let's go there for a minute. Um, Let me get my little stuff here so I can make sure y'all get all this information. Now, where some people may have an underlying cause for their lying, some people don't have any reason at all. Like I said, they woke up like that. They just want to lie. It could be some stuff that happened in their childhood. It doesn't have to be anything that happened in their childhood. They may just want to lie. So we're going to look at some of the reasons that a person may become a pathological liar. Okay? The full reasons, they are not understood. Like I told you, people have been studying this stuff for years, and nobody has been able to fully understand where this whole pathology comes from. Because, I mean, there are different levels to lying. Y'all know that there's levels to this thing, you know. So it kind of make it hard to put your finger on one thing because of all these different levels, you know. So research says that one of the reasons could be the liar tends to lie because he wants to appear as a hero. You saved the day. If it wasn't for you, none of this would be. If it wasn't for you, the sky wouldn't be blue, the sun would not be shining, and the grass would not be green on the ground. If it wasn't for you, if not for you, there would be no stars in the sky, no birds in the sky, no crickets hopping around, if not for you, the compulsive liar. This person also tends to lie to gain sympathy. Phoenix Rising, hey, how you doing? They want to gain sympathy. So in that context, he chooses to make himself come across as a victim. Now, first, you're the hero of it all, and you have made all these things happen. And now, you're the victim. You want sympathy from everybody. So now this whole thing has changed. And the strong person that you were as the hero, that person quickly dwindles. That person quickly shape shifts into a victim. And a pathological liar is good at what he does, y'all. You better believe it. Because when you lie so good that you fool yourself, you a bad boy. Or girl, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of female pathological liars too, but some things are more, they happen a little bit, just a little bit more, you know, with our male counterparts. So, but don't get me wrong, I am not saying, I am not saying that we don't have some pathological lies of the female persuasion. Let me be clear on that. Some people lie, without any gain. Like I said, they lie just to lie. They don't know why they lied. Just did it. Once again, that falls back to habit. Some people may lie because they have a TBI. And that person that lies, you know, sometimes TBI is a traumatic brain injury, or any type of trauma could affect your personality and the way that you handle things. Some people have their hormone and cortisol ratio is off. They say that that's one of the reasons that people could lie. And then another reason comes back to that self-interest. Now these are looking at pathological liars. Now that self-interest, it benefits them to lie. I would put a lot of people in that category when they're telling those lies. It benefits them. Now, a 2016 study, I told y'all I tried to come with some research. I'm not just trying to pull something out of the sky and give it to you. A 2016 study of what happens when people lie. A 2016 study of what happens when people lie found that the more untruths a person tells, the easier and more frequent it becomes. The more lies a person tells, the easier and more frequent it becomes. It's like if you're a little rogue, you know, you like stealing other people's stuff. After you do it 1 or 2 times, you start feeling like you were a pro at it. So all the adrenaline that you had that first time when you were a little scared, once you saw that you made it through, that make it a little easier to go snatch something up the next time. A lie is no different. So we are going to look at some of the scientifically recognized traits of a pathological liar. Scientifically, not what Roger said. Scientifically recognized traits of a pathological liar. All right. Pathological liar, once again, they don't know why. We don't know why, but they lie even if there's no benefit. That's the first thing. They lie even if there is no benefit. They're not getting anything out of it. They're not trying to lie to keep from hurting your feelings. They're not trying to lie because they're worried about getting in trouble. They're just lying just to be lying. They just lie like a rug. You hear me? They just lie. It doesn't matter if they're benefiting from it or not. That like that's just it. The pathological liar is usually dramatic. Yeah. Their lies are usually dramatic, complicated, and detailed. While at the same time, that person tends to be like, this person is a great storyteller. They can feed you a fantasy and it sounds good. The stories are real colorful, you know. And they're believable. They're very believable. But even though the stories may be over the top and like you listen to them and you know that when they say the grass is green, you looking and that grass out there is brown, it's the way that they presented that story that made it believable to you. There's something that you can identify with that makes that story a bit more believable. I see somebody klepto in here. Hold up. I agree, Pico. I agree. Okay. Again, scientifically, now I mentioned it before, but scientifically, one of the traits of a pathological liar is usually they portray themselves as the hero or the victim. They use these lies to gain admiration, sympathy, or somebody already put it in here, acceptance by others. They lying to kick it. Admiration, sympathy, or acceptance by others. You feel like you got to lie in order to fit in. You feel like you have to lie. I call them one-upping. The one conversation I hate having with people is if I'm talking to a one-up person. If I say, man, yo, I got these nice, let me just throw something out there. I got these nice forces today. Oh, yeah, that's all you did? Well, I went and got me some $300 J's. Oh, you know what? That's nice you got those $300 J's. I had got those yesterday. Yeah, I went and got them $300 J's. Those the ones I bought yesterday. The ones I got today, they cost $500. Yeah. They're going to always one-up you on something. Man, I sprained my toe. Man, that ain't nothing. I broke my foot last year. Y'all got me. You been with them the whole year, ain't seen a cast in the first. They just got to keep one-upping you with the lie. Just, y'all know. Y'all done seen them. Scientifically now, another scientifical trait is that a pathological liar lies to the point that he believes his own lie. Now that's what I'm telling you. You got to be a bad mama jamma. You got to be a bad mofo to know that you lying and believe your own lie. But that's a bad man. The problem is their lies, they fall somewhere in between like conscious lying and delusion. You understand? It's somewhere in between. It's somewhere in between the conscious lie and the delusion. I'm gonna lean more toward the delusional side, but they fall somewhere in the middle. And let me give y'all this one because I need y'all to catch this one. A scientific trait. I think I said scientifical before. Yeah, I made up a whole word. Another scientific trait that they think pathological liars show is, and this is true for most of them, they tend to be, let me hold up. They tend to be natural performers. Okay? Pathical, I cannot talk today. Pathological liars are great performers. You got me. They're eloquent. They know how to engage the audience or whoever they're speaking to. They're creative. They are considered original. They are quick thinkers, real quick on their feet. And the only time that you can kind of maybe pick up on a lie is when they like take a long pause. And people that tend to have somewhat of a speech impediment, they could do something like stutter. Um, some people that know that you may look at the eyes, and even if they don't know, but they tend to avoid eye contact whenever they're talking. So they'll talk to you, but they're looking around, and they can look on you on the partial truth. Because in every one of their lies, there is a partial truth to it, and that's what makes it believable. But there are just certain things where if you pay attention, okay, but just know that they are great performers. These same people, when asked a question, oh, they're going to shoot that it to you. You got me? They're going to shoot it to you real quick. But if you go back and press replay, you see that they never answered the question. They gave you a whole lot of nothing. That's what they gave you. They were talking loud and didn't say a darn thing. They are the masters at manipulating an answer to a question, whereas you don't even realize they never gave you the darn answer in the first place. They gave you a lot of fluff. They gave you a lot of bobo, but they did not answer the question. They avoided everything about that lie for them to keep from being having to admit that they lied or saying anything that may suggest that they lied. So they dance. We call that dancing. That's that two-step. They dance all around that question. You never get an answer. You better check it out. Two steps, two step. They done danced all around. I told you they were characters. Didn't even know that. Come on, Pico. Pico, you a man after my own heart. Now you better say so. Yes, yes, yes. They do it. They do it. Pico just gave y'all another phrase for a pathological liar. He just gave y'all another phrase for a mythomaniac. He gave you that phrase right there. That's another one. All right. Before I go another further, I want to remind everybody that everybody lies. Sometimes you lie at your mouth, and sometimes you just lie at your mind. A lie by omission. Not saying something still makes you a liar. It's not that you came out and just told a bald-faced lie. Yeah, the phone line is open. 803-888-8268, I think. But that, a lie by any other name is still a lie. A lie. So, and we're going to look at some of the lies that like regular people. I got to put this in quotation marks. Y'all know those air quotations. Regular people. Regular people tell what would be considered like the white lies, right? White, black, purple, whatever color they lie. Y'all know. These are the things that people consider small fibs. They're harmless. They don't come with malicious intent. They may be told to spare somebody else's feelings or to avoid getting in trouble. Prime example, honey, do I look fat in this dress? No, baby, you look really good. Even though the dress may be hugging in some places it doesn't need to hug. But like that's your lady. So you want to make sure she feels comfortable and that she knows that her man supports her in whatever she's wearing. So you might throw a little fib up in there. Okay, baby, did you go pay the light bill today? You know you forgot to go pay that light bill. Yeah, I got it, I got it, I got it. Now you didn't really say you went and paid it. You said that you got it, so you left that person with the perception or the understanding that you went and paid it, even though you know you saying in your mind, shoot, I gotta go pay that light bill real quick. You know, a little small light, little razzle dazzle. You know what I'm saying? There's a yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm giving you some examples of some little small lies. Now, let me give you some examples of the pathological lie. Okay. So the pathological liar creates a false history, right? This person, they'll say that they did something or achieved something that they never touched, that they, didn't have no parts of it. Like saying, I met so and so. No, you didn't. I y'all know I got my PhD. Where's that? I got 5 degrees. What is? Just throwing stuff out there for the sake of throwing it out there. They create a false history for themselves. And okay, these same people may claim to have like a life-threatening illness that they don't have. Like they may have a cold, but when they talk to you, they got, shoot, I'm about to say cancer, but it's not even a good one. They may have a cold, but whenever they come to you, the cold is pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? They may have, knocked the toenail off, but when they come to you, they got foot cancer. Like it's just above and beyond, just above and beyond. This person tends to tell lies to impress others. Like the goal is always to impress others. Like that's when you talk about lying to kick it. Like this person may tell you, well, I'm related to so and so. That's my cousin. I'm related to such and such. That's my uncle. So and so is my friend. And y'all, in actuality, y'all met one time. He didn't know your name, and both of y'all kept pushing. But the pathological liar will create this whole story, this whole history, this colorful story, and it sounds believable. It sounds believable because he starts to believe it himself. Now, I go here. A few signs. Dr. Rising Kate, baby. Right. Right. Now, a graduate of higher learning can point it out. Other people that have graduated from higher learning. Yeah. Like if you tell me you are in the nursing field and I start talking about, phalanges and metacarpals and all this stuff, you better know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If I start talking about some things and you start saying, yeah, I know what you're talking about, and all of a sudden you go, hey, Debosky, how you doing? You say, you know what I'm talking about, and you go talking about somebody's bike, and I'm telling you about somebody's hands or some bones or something like that, and you have no idea what I'm talking about. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Okay, so I'm gonna help y'all out a little bit. I'm gonna give you some signs, just a few, some signs to help you identify a pathological liar. Okay, now some of these we already went over, but now once you start looking for it, once you know what you're looking for, now stuff will start to make sense. Now, just like I said with this narcissist thing, don't y'all go around pointing at people, oh, you are a pathological liar. Uh-uh. Oh, you are a methamaniac. Don't go around and say Dr. Roger told y'all to be calling people that, because I don't need no more problems. Y'all, if it's buffering, the people probably try to hit my video. So, yeah, y'all know how they do. Okay, some of these signs. We already went over one. In every story that they tell, they always have to be the hero. They save the day in everything. Okay? If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have this. If it wasn't for me, Debowski wouldn't have his channel, darn it. And he know good and well I have nothing to do with his devilish channel getting started. His channel is there because it was purposed to be there. You understand? But I want to be the one that take the credit for everything. If it wasn't for me, okay. If it wasn't for me, we'll just okay. Um, if it wasn't for me, like Cassandra wouldn't even know Lisa. I'm taking credit for that. Like I was there at conception. You hear what I'm saying? I wasn't even born yet, but I was here at conception. I made that happen. I did this. It's me, by myself. One gun, one bullet. Y'all know. Okay. Flip side, we also talked about this before. Whenever the tables turn, then they are playing the victim role. They want that sympathy. It's woe is me. Now, all the lies that you told being the hero, those lies are no longer valid. Now, you got to flip up the script, and now you have to play the victim. Who did that to me? Why are you doing this? Everything that you said, everything I did to you, you really did to me. Like everything. You got to be the victim. All right, we got a caller. Y'all stand by. Carolina Diamond, who's calling?
Hi, Pathologies, my beautiful pathologists. You know this is, I'm not on air yet.
How you doing?
I'm doing blessed. I'm just such a life. And I just wanted to come in and say a few things because it's been in my heart. God placed it in my heart. He actually wanted me to clear up the airway as far as Dana J concerned, to where if he can use anything or think he can use anything on what I shared with him, I'm here to shut him down to let him know that he can't. But I'm not going to do drama on your channel. I just came in I just want to speak on how I was, used and things of that nature without them knowing my name, but hearing my voice is fine.
Okay.
So you know if it's a good idea or not. So you tell me before I begin
this. If you have the truth that you feel that you need to put out there, then hey.
It is all truth. I don't believe in lies, and like I told you before, I fibbed a little just to get the information that I wanted to hear, and I gave them the information that they wanted to hear, but not in a form to where they can technically use it against me. But at the same time, I don't care.
Okay. Speak your piece.
All right. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. Hello, chat. Turn this down. Okay. You actually don't need to know my name, but what you do need to know is where there's truth as opposed to truth. And I just want to say that I personally was used by a group of people to find out information pertaining to Rob Kelly. I don't need to actually say my closeness to him or my relationship with him. That's non-irrelevant because it's not about me. It is about him. And as I look on each blogger's page and things of that nature, I see that there is a lot of controversy, a lot of riffraff, a lot of arguing when there's no need to be arguing. This man is up against his life to be in prison. And the going back and forth and to try to rebuttal this person and rebuttal that person, defame that person, defame this person, that's still not getting him anywhere. It's not getting him closer to being vindicated or even immediate release. So I come on Dr. Rogers' show because I love Dr. Rogers. I believe in her. Her chemistry and my chemistry are like 1-on-1 and 100. She doesn't like me. I do not like her. What I don't like is the fact that people, a certain people group, try to turn me against other people that they don't want to be a part of anymore. And that is why I came on this show because we were talking about habitual, compulsive, and pathological liars.
Mm-hmm.
And all three of those examples with their definitions speak highly, definable of the people that I was communicating with. I communicated with them because I, one, wanted to see what they had to say in reference to Rob. I wanted to see if they were trying to pick me to find out what I knew pertaining to Rob. And to be honest, we did the same. They picked me. I gave them information that I felt they needed to hear. I gave them information that they wanted to hear. But I didn't definitely give them what I know to be the truth. Yes, I'm a truthful person. Yes, I am loyal. No, I do not lie under certain circumstances. But that conversation with those people had to make me second guess. Why would you commit to constantly communicate with them? And I just want to thank Dr. Rogers for opening my eyes because I do. Whoever's listening from the side of the, I'm going to say, tracks that was trying to get me in this cahoots against Dr. Rogers, Faces, the sisters, and even DJ Tyson. Those people that was trying to get me to go against them ought to be ashamed of themselves. Because my conversation with them was merely so to let them know how Rob was. Things that I knew about Rob to be true. Things that I knew about the other people that are trying to bring him down to be true. And the only thing I want to say is, can I say names on your channel?
What names are you trying to? Go ahead.
I can.
You telling your truth.
Okay. Dana J trying to get me to pretty much choose sides as far as by playing recordings of DJ Tyson to me
What?
and trying to make me, yes, trying to make me think that DJ Tyson was against me. He was talking about me and things of that nature, which I did hear a recording by Hollywood Next to where DJ Tyson was talking about me. And at that moment, I let my guards down to listen to Dana J. Now, everybody knows my voice as far as who have talked to me, but other people don't really know my voice. But I really want to say, and I hope you don't mind me saying it, my agenda with those people that were on the phone has been completed. I have no further conversation for you guys. And I'm not being cruel when I say this, but when you're fighting for the same person, it doesn't matter what DJ Tyson commentary is. It doesn't matter what the Hollywood Next lady commentary is. It doesn't matter what TBD commentary is. It doesn't matter what Dr. Rogers' commentary is. It doesn't matter what Dr. Faze's commentary is. And I just mentioned those names because those are people that I actually talked to. But I do want to get out there and say, Dana J., strictly to you, I have not reached back out to you because I felt that you played me. I felt that you brought people on the phone and on our line when you didn't need to do so, when you were talking and having a conversation with me. You called me first, okay, to, say that you were glad that I was back and recovering and things of that nature. But at the same time, you did not let me know of certain people that were on the same line as us. And not only that, hold on one second. I'm sorry about that. And for you to have those people on the line and only tell me of certain people that were there, I feel it was kind of backstabbing, shading, or whatever word anybody would choose that know more about definitions than I do, because I'm still healing. But at the same token, some people that were on the line, I have seen them on other people's channels, and I just thought that they were sincere with the things that they were saying. But for you guys to get me on your call, and you know who I am, and I don't care if you know who I am. I don't need to speak who I am right here, but I just need to let this message out. Dana J., you tried to play me, but you played yourself. One. If you don't know who I am, and you want to confirm that, White House, Sexy Seal, Niecy, nephew cousin. You know, those are names that I gave you guys when we were on that conference call. Keish baby. You know, all I'm saying is you call yourself trying to have me to either one, confirm that you are who you have been telling them you are to Rob, or two, you just wanted to get information from me and have them be able to hear it about Rob. Either way, I strongly believe that it was done improperly. A person that knows me, like Dr. Rogers, like Phases Next Level, and the sisters, which are my sisters now, know the truth. They know my life is an open book, so I have nothing to hide. I'm not calling you out or anything of that nature. I'm just mentioning what you tried to do to me. And all I want to say is, yes, I was in agreement to go with you, Dana J., on your live to speak about DJ Tyson and the things that you had played to me and let me hear about him that involved me. But as you guys say with your Baltimore code and Detroit code and whoever else has a code, Chicago does have a code. And rather DJ Tyson went outside of that code to say and do whatever he was doing with Daboski, that's their business. At the same time, I found it unbelievable because I'm not used to two different gangs colliding with one another. That just doesn't happen in Chicago. But that's been so long ago, who's to tell what has taken place now? Because Rob is the type of person, has been the type of person, will always be the type of person that will bring people together and have them to squash whatever beef that they have, if it's gang related, if it's drug related, so have you. So my message to DJ Tyson, your family, you're going to always be family. But you don't need to talk about me, and you know who I am, because you hear my voice. But you don't need to talk about people. You don't need to talk to people about me. You don't have to do that. Because you and I have a relationship, a bond, to where you can come to me and say, hey, such and such, I came to you because I want to know such and such. The part that hurted me with you, DJ Tyson, was you talking to Hollywood Next about something that I was confiding you in and bringing you connections in. That hurt me because I felt you and I were closer than that, to where what we were talking about went no further. When Hollywood played her recordings and things of that nature and talked about how you, DJ Tyson, was talking against me, that hurt. But I forgive. I forgive easily. I'm a child of God. I can't be a child of God if I don't forgive. So all I'm saying is that Levi, for Kelly, you came on the call that we were on. The only person I was asked if could be brought on that call was Levi. Can I bring Levi on? And you know, from that conversation that day, I said no. And of course, Sexy Seal said yes. You asked again. I said no. Sexy Seal said yes. Then I said yes, because I wanted to hear what he had to say. I wanted to apologize to him if he actually was Rob's cousin. But now that I know what I know, Levi, you had me fooled. You said some things that, again, was not on video, was not made public, and it made me really believe that you are his cousin. But after speaking with him and him having no nickname to give me for you outside of me calling you Levi for Kelly, he said, Levi is not my cousin. If you can't get a real name on who Levi is, or if you and Levi can't talk one-on-one to find out who you are so that I can say it to him, Levi, you're not his cousin. It's not for me to know. I don't care to know. But all I'm saying is, when we talked on the phone that night, you did. You had me believing that you were some type of kin to Rob. But when it comes back, after speaking to Rob, no. If he can't reveal to you what I call him, what his real name is, Levi is not my cousin. His words. So I know that you told me on that call that he's going to come out and he's going to explain who is who, what is what, and for on, that's fine. I'll wait. I'll listen when he comes and tells the truth about everybody. But what I do want to say is, Dana J., we all know how you got in Rob's camp.
Hold on 1 second. Hold hold up 1 second. Y'all, I'm seeing in the comments people are saying that the channel is buffering, so they're probably trying to get the video down. So if the video goes
Oh
down,
yeah,
just stand
because it's
by. I
true.
will come back up. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, with the fact that Dr. Rogers' channel is buffering, and anybody that's telling the truth channel buffers, Data J, Sexy Seal, Sid Bo,
I think I just
Denise,
saw him in the chat.
Niecy, as I call you, y'all need to cut it out. Because trying to block somebody else from speaking the truth is not where it's at. If you're on your side speaking your truth about Rob, then let that be your side that you're speaking your truth about. You cannot go and hinder anybody else from saying what they're saying, even if you feel that what they're saying is not true. But one thing for certain, two things for sure. I'm not going to lie to God, and I'm not going to lie to myself. Because if I lie to myself, it's pretty much me in the lifestyle that I'm in is lying to God. And I'm not going to do that. So all I'm saying is that y'all, as I call it, the White House, you know who you are when I say White House. Nephew, cousin, you know who you are when I say that. Nephew, you know who you are when I say that. Sexy Seal, you know who you are when I say that. And Nishibu, you know who you are when I say that. And even Keish, baby, you know who you are when I speak in terms of you guys' name. I'm only speaking y'all name because I felt it was a total setup from Dana J, White House. I really felt that that was a setup to get me on the phone, talk to me, and confirm that you know Rob. I'm about to let it air. I have talked to Rob, and he has informed me that he does not know you, Dana J, on the grounds of which you're saying you know him. You have been around him. He admits that. But you never was a part of his camp. To be honest, coming from him, he feels that you are a mole, that you planted certain people in his circle around him because you were affiliated with Angelo and Larry, the Grown Man Show. And because of that, he knows now that anybody that is truly committed to helping him get vindicated, helping him get the right type of attorney to beat his case because he is proven innocent until proven guilty, he has let me know that that is how he feels about you, Dana J, White House. It's not my doing. The outside is writing him on the inside, letting him know of bloggers that are on the YouTube channels, social media, where have you, talking about him and talking about their relationship with him. I'm only saying this because this is the truth. And Dana J, aka I call you White House, you know I'm not going to lie. I wanted to call you actually and talk to you one-on-one about this, but because of your character and the way you played me that night to bring everybody on the phone with me, I decided to speak out on a channel that I trust, on a channel that I believe in the person behind this channel is doing the right thing, and that is justice. I told you before when you said to me that Dr. Rogers is not to be trusted. She's Team Truth. I said to you, Dr. Rogers is no part of no team. She's about justice. When you did your roaring and your huff puffing when I mentioned phases, you had a problem with that. I'm here to tell you that phases present what she presents, and when she presents what she presents, she's only down to get in the truth for people that was in his camp that actually, and I'm going to say this again, actually knew him or of him or was just that close to him. I myself have not interviewed on nobody's channel because it doesn't matter who I am to Rob, and it doesn't matter who Rob is to me. But it matters to you, Dana J. White House. It matters to you because you want to portray the image of being that close to Rob. But I know different. I talk to him. He only normally usually have 2 minutes to talk to a person. I talked to him till his time ran out of him telling me that Dana J, leave him alone. Don't go near him. Don't go by him. Whatever that means, that's between you and him. You only know why he's saying that. Levi, I've been told not to talk to you ever again until you give your correct name to me for me to bring to him and know that you are who you say you are, Levi for Kelly. Okay? Third thing, DJ Tyson. DJ Tyson, Rob has your number. He will call you when he's able. But right now, his focus is stop badgering people. Stop going against one another because one has more commentary than the other or because one have more people under them to agree with them. That is what he said. He don't give a darn, but not in those words, about how many subscribers, how many views a person gets. He wants any and everyone that has his name attached to their commentary to stop it. Get his name off your commentary, especially if you don't know him. He's no uncle to nobody on any commentary, and he's definitely not a brother to nobody on commentary. The call-in person that called in on DJ Tyson's show, Alexis, you know me. I'm just not saying my name here. But you too need to quit it. If you know Rob the way that you know him and you say he's your brother, you'll do any and everything for him, you'll never cross him, you yourself know not to go on people's lives and have your voice being heard when he wasn't in agreement to it. What I'm doing now has actually been in agreement with him because he himself is tired of the lies. He himself is tired of people out here attaching his name to their name just to build clout. And from his ear to my ear, clout chasers are the worst chasers because they don't know him and money is them. Those are his words. Sharon Wimblish, I love you. I love everything that you're doing in regards to Rob. And you have said yourself before that Rob wouldn't speak on you. He wouldn't give a message about you or anything of that nature. That is lies. When he's talking to someone that he knows to be that close to him, he's going to reveal to them things that he probably won't reveal to others, and that be me. I'm not here to brag about communicating with him. I'm in no shape, form, or fashion able to do that because he does not call me on a regular. But when I do hear from him, the stuff that's being said out there are definitely lies. I'm going to tell you right now, you go on channels, all channels may agree to disagree. But what are you arguing for? What are you in cahoots for? The whole thing to me is one wants to be known better than the other. Don't mean to bust your bubble, but when God allowed Rob to be released from that prison, those chains to break, those gates to open, the ones that are out here going back and forth with each other will not ever meet him, will not ever get in his circle. Ever. I've done my best at keeping people safe so that if you did have that type of relationship with Rob, that you could continue to have that relationship with Rob. Sharon, Rob believes that you speak truth on the things that you say, somewhat, but at the same token, he feels that you are very educated and that you don't get tied up in the he say, she say YouTube channels. He said that is not of you. No, not the Sharon Wimbush I know. She doesn't do that. She'll check someone, but he didn't say someone, he said a cuss word. And she will move on. She will not give you any light or a platform to build on about him. And you yourself, Sharon Wimbush, would not say certain things on your channel if you were in communication with him. He has said he has not talked to you directly since a long time ago when he first got arrested by the feds. But he has heard your live on certain people's channels, and he has placed you on speaker mode for the people that were around him that he trusted to hear that this is my former nutritionist. She cared about me, she loved me, and she know what happened during the time that she was there. That's what he said. Anything forthgoing with you, Miss Sharon Wimbush, is of your own doing. He's not giving you directive to do anything. He's not sending directions for you to do anything. He only said to you when he spoke to you, do what you need to do because I'm innocent. If you think I'm lying, you know that he said those exact words to you. Okay? And he loves you, Sharon Wimbush. He really does. Because of what you were doing to let people know about the people that were scamming him, that were stealing his money, that's really not for him, but playing like they are. The one thing he agreed upon is you saying, when Rob gets out, we're going to have a sit down about the people he let in his life. He said you are so correct on that. So correct on that. Because he needs someone that really knows him and is like a sister, is like a brother to him, to come to him and let him know who and who is not needed around him. Because right now, he trusts nobody. He don't trust you, Sharon Wimbush. He don't trust you, Dana J. He doesn't trust DJ Tyson, and he never knew him. He just knew of him through me. He does not trust me to bring anything that he has not said to be true. So that's one of the reasons that I haven't spoke out. It wasn't necessary. But the one conversation he ended with was, what's between me and you is between me and you. When I feel that it is okay for you to go out and talk to those people, then that's fine. But that's not him being controlling. That's him just giving instructions as God give all of us as his children instructions. So that could be God giving him light on who to instruct to do what. People are out here, and I'm trying to answer all these things in one time because I'm not going to speak anymore. But people that are out here trying to say, oh no, but he talked to me and he talked to that. No, that's not what it's about. What it's about is people that have proof of things that can vindicate him, get him an immediate release, get him compassionate release. Those are the people that needs to be talking to his attorney and not other bloggers. Those are the people that need to be going to his attorney and not fussing with other bloggers. Those are people that need to be going to his attorney and not downing other bloggers. Dana J, I love you. I love you like a nephew, and you know that. And I wouldn't turn my back on you, but I will speak truth, and you know that. All I want to say right now is leave Dr. Rogers, Dr. Faze, and anybody else you think, Dubowski, DJ Tyson, leave them alone. I tell you all the time, do what you want to do. Do what you need to do in regards to you. If you know your relationship with Rob, then you handle it accordingly. It's not for you to boast on who you brought around Rob, in his vicinity, in his camp, or what have you. When you bring up those things about bringing people around his camp, it makes you look guilty as a setup or part of the setup. Angelo, if you're listening, you need to know that everything told to you is not real. If you read the contents of that book, and that's all you read, and you don't read the book, then you go to the back of the book to read what the book was about, guess what? You still don't know what the book is about. So stop thinking that you know Rob. You never got to know this man. And if you would have got to know this man, you would have known that he didn't have nothing but respect for your daughter, Azriel. Nothing but respect for her. Everybody that was affiliated with him from 2015 current knows that Azriel was number one. Joycelyn was number two. He would let that be known. And Angelo, your daughter may not want to be known as a label or a number one, number this. That's fine. If I was a father, I probably wouldn't want it either. But don't throw stones at this man based on what you're told. Throw stones at this man if you want to, and stuff that you've seen within your own eye. And that goes for Dana J. Whitehouse, that goes for Angelo, that even goes for Larry. Larry, the grown man, you have said a lot of things about different people that you didn't even know or get to know. That is my whole thing, and that's my problem. If you don't know these people or get to know these people, stop talking about them. Stop making them your commentary. Stop putting them in your title for people to come and view your channel. So many people are false prophets. And those are the people that's just putting R. Kelly, Rob, name next to theirs to say that they're doing this and they're doing that. You're not doing it for Rob, to be honest. You're doing it for yourself because you attaches his name to yours. Now, if you was doing it for him, you'd just do it. You wouldn't mention him. It is between you and God as far as what you're doing on these different channels. Dubowski, the board, all of that, I feel how you want to do things and how you want to do process by elimination. I understand all of that. But is it necessary? Ask yourself that. Is it necessary? That's all I'm trying to say to all of the bloggers that are in cahoots with one another and going against one another and saying this about one another. I'll never talk to this person. I'll never talk to that person, Dana J. That's out the window. If you all have the same motive and none of them are hidden agendas, it is nothing wrong with you guys coming together to get him vindicated, to get immediate release, and to allow him to get justice. But in doing all of that, you got to go down on your knees and you got to pray. You got to pray sincerely because God hears all prayers. But if you call yourself gathering together and praying an agreement, somebody you're touching may not be praying for the same thing you praying, and that makes the prayer null and void. I say that to say this. Pray by yourself. Pray for yourself first. Pray for his knowledge and wisdom to allow you to move forward. And once he answers you, because God will answer, then you move forward. Stop all these bullcrap videos of, oh, this person said this, now I got to come back. Oh, I'm going to bring him on the show so he can say this and that. I'm going to say this right now on this channel. And I know everybody that I'm talking about is watching. So welcome, and I'm glad. Dana J., White House, stop it. Stop trying to convince people to go against their own agenda because of your own agenda. If DJ Tyson want to do it his way, let him do it his way. That's what's called individual. Individual means that you are that person all by yourself. So Dana J., stop talking about other people. Talk about you. If you don't have anything good to bring or anything logical to bring that's going to help Rob, keep it to yourself. If you're plugged to Doug Anton, which makes me sit back and question, because no judges, no jury, no attorneys is supposed to be in communication with anybody that is on a YouTube channel. If you're not the news or you're not the judge that's handling his case, shut the front door. You're not talking nothing that is relevant. So I end this to say this. If those of you that are all together, so-called all together, and on the same mission of vindicating and helping Rob case, stop it. If you think you can't get along with this person to do that, do it on your own, but don't slander the next person that's trying to do what they're doing. Especially Dr. Rogers and Phases. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to put that out there. Those are two people that I communicate with. So when you were on the White House call with me, I'm letting you know right now because I'm all about truth. And you know what I say, my life is open book. Can't nobody pull nothing on me and make me surprised. They can't. Because you ask me, I'm going to tell you. Dana J., I think it was very foul for you and the crew that was on the phone with me to talk about shutting down different people's pages. I didn't say anything because that's your job. But did I talk to Dr. Rogers and did I talk to Phases about it? Yes, I did. I haven't got around to DJ Tyson yet because, yes, I heard the audio of what Hollywood played and let me hear what DJ Tyson was saying about me. But the one thing I'm going to say about DJ Tyson, y'all pulled me in to believe that he didn't care about nobody but himself. As my eyes are opened and my mouth can speak, I don't see him only caring about himself. People that have cash apps, oh well, so what? What do you care about somebody having a cash app and getting money? If he, DJ Tyson, is getting a cash app to help him in whatever way it's helping him, that is on him and between him and God, the way he's using the money that is being sent to him. It is not for you to sit back and count up his dollars. because you don't live the life he lives. And he doesn't live the life you live, Dana J. And I constantly say your name because it's like you are the head of the flock that you have behind you. But at the same time, you need to let your subscribers know who you really are to Rob. And the same way you wanted me to come on your channel to say who DJ Tyson really is. Well, guess what? It's not a matter of coming on your channel to say who's who. It's a matter of you knowing who you are. Me knowing who you are is irrelevant. Rob knowing who you are is irrelevant. Rob knowing what you're doing is relevant. So I listen at opinionated YouTube, and he appears to be the only one that I see is trying to get things done black and white. Phases is the only one that I see getting interviews from people that was close-knit to him and speaking out. Dr. Rogers is speaking for justice because that's exactly what she's about, is justice. She don't believe in no wrong. She don't believe in no right. She put them both together and see what comes out as them or that person getting justice. That's a title. So stop it, Doc. Stop it, DJ. Stop putting people against her. You don't want to talk to her ever again in life? That's fine. Do your commentary. But do not try to persuade people to come against Dr. Rogers, Phases, DJ Tyson, and anybody else that's out there that's in a real fight. Dvorsky, anybody else out there that's in a real fight for Rob. Even if it's Hollywood Next. If she's in a real fight for Rob, let her have that. Sky Zone, real fight for Rob, let her have that. Prima Donna, I know, real fight for Rob, let her have that. Stop downing the people that are trying to do the so-called things that you say that you are doing. Stop it. It needs to stop now because we're not getting no older and we're not getting no younger. And guess what? Rob is still sitting where he's sitting. So if you're interested in getting him vindicated, house arrest, whatever the case may be, speak about that. Don't speak about other bloggers because other bloggers are not relevant. You and your commentary is relevant. Somebody tonight is going to lose a lot of subscribers from my conversation, from me coming out like this. And I'm only coming out like this because I'm tired. I'm tired of the shenanigans. I'm tired of people claiming they're out for one and they're out for this and they're out for the other. That's the overplay for the underlay. So, Dana J, everybody is saying you're a mole. It has gotten back to Rob that you're a mole. So yes, he has asked people to draw back from you. And it is not their personal thing. It's just the things that he made them see to draw back from you. Azrael, if you're listening, you know who I am. Quit it with your shenanigans. All this stuff you're saying Rob did to you and that he did to you, I personally wouldn't know because I personally wasn't behind closed doors shining a flashlight to see. But I have heard your stories. Your stories are actually unbelievable to me, and you know how you and I relationship is. I'm going to always love you despite of what you do because you got to give in consideration of what you do. You got to ask God to forgive you for the things that you are doing and you know it's not right. Joycelyn, I say to you, keep your head up, stay in communication with me as you have been doing, and I am going to continue to pray for you as well as you pray for me. Azrael, I'm definitely going to continue to pray you or for you as you may pray for and about me. But what you're doing, the stuff that you're telling your dad and the Larry Goodman show or whatever you call that, grown man show, stop it. Stop it. Because you know when you pulled out that mask, and I just want to address that, you know what that mask was supposed to be used for. But for you to join the crowd and turn it around to make it sinister, that bothers me. So you can inbox me, Azriel. I know you will. You can say what you want to say to me. I know you will. But you know me as a God-fearing woman will tell the truth on all aspects. So those of you that want to come at me, that know my voice and know who I am without me saying, reach out to me. I'm not saying I'm going to reach back out to you. I may respond, I may not. Depends on what you put in that text message or social media message. But it boils down to leave Dr. Rogers' phases, leave them out of it. They are not the ones that you need to be in cahoots with, because there are two people that is after one agenda. One is after justice. The second one is after justice, as well as finding some truth about the profile they have put on Rob. That's Faye's job. That's what she's going after. And I commend her for that, because I don't have a YouTube page to go and do that on. So I thank them and I appreciate them. DJ Tyson, I appreciate what you're doing, but at the same time, you need not give people names like Azriel or calling women bees. Debosky, you neither. Nobody needs to call a woman a bee, despite of how she has carried herself. We know the terms of bee. We know what it means. Bee means a female dog. And they are not female dogs because they do not possess 4 legs, they possess 2. Stop calling these women out of their names. You're not gaining anything by calling them out of their name. A lot of you guys that is on social media and your commentary is downgrading another person, cussing out this person, it's only getting you views and not subscribers. It's actually only giving you views. So weigh the difference. Weigh the views and the subscriptions. You get more views because they want to hear negativity. They want to hear gossip. Don't be that person that they hear that from. Be the person that you're trying to be in getting documentations or getting interviews with people that really know Rob. And I'm talking about future Rob, not 20, 30-year-old Rob. To you, Alexis, I appreciate you coming out on DJ Tyson's page and his channel and speaking out. But you, too, said a lot of things that didn't need to be said, for one. Second off, you're doing it out of how you depict yourself. And that's obsessiveness. And that's not my saying. It was told to me that you're obsessed. But not to pour salt or rain on your parade. Speak how you want to speak. Go on whoever channel you want to go on. But do know I will be listening. And do know if you say something good to help his case, I'll pass it on. If you say something bad to help his case, not help, but if you say bad stuff against his case, I will forward it to him. Call me snitch. Say snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches. Say all of that. But that won't happen to me. I'm anointed, covered in the blood of Jesus. I have too many testimonies to give any and everybody to where God will condemn me. Now that's something you guys need to think about, all of you. Do I want to be condemned by God, or do I want to talk like I'm God? Ask yourself that. And when you get the answer, I'll be here. I'll wait. In the meantime, I love you all. I have nothing against nobody. I have no ill will against anyone. And I don't ride on any teams. I am Team God, will always be Team God. But people that show me themselves, I listen to them. But the others that are wolves in sheep clothing, I side eye you. Get your stuff together. If the fight is about Rob, let it be about Rob, and let it be about nobody else. Because that is not his makeup. He does not get down like that. He will never get down like that. And he don't appreciate the way people are getting down like that. Stop the shenanigans. Stop blocking people pages. Stop reporting people pages because their commentary and the conversation in their chat room is so real that you can't even believe it. Stop it. Because the more you do what's unjust, the more you will not get prospered. Stuff's going to constantly come up against you as long as you're not doing and letting what you're doing line up with God's will. If you're not about God, you can't be about Rob, because Rob is a God-fearing man. And he has been praying to God. And he has more than the faith the size of a mustard seed. And he will return to society. He will re-enter society. But he's not going to be able to do it if you guys are on your chats saying and doing what you're doing. I'm through talking. This probably won't be my last talk. But right now, it is what it is. And you're either going to believe or you're not going to believe. But I'm a believer in Christ Jesus. And I know what he tells me is not void. I love y'all. Hope y'all getting something out of this. You can play it over and over again to meditate on it. But I'd rather you not meditate on my word and meditate on God's word. And that's what's going to pull you through whatever you're going through. I love you guys. Have a blessed day, evening, whatever time it is. To those who are listening, may the rest of your day be blessed as well. This coronavirus is serious. Take it seriously, okay? Those of you that are speaking out against Rob, you're the coronavirus. And right now, people are constantly dying for it. Do you want to die for or from it? If not, get your life in order. Stop telling the lies that you're telling. Stop being pathological. Stop being compulsive. Stop being habitual. It's not about you. Never has been, never will be. And until you know that, you won't do right by it. So again, I love you all. I thank you, Dr. Rogers, for allowing me on your channel to speak this message. And I hope that it touches somebody somewhere.
Right.
Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. To God be the glory.
All right. Whoa. First thing, let me say, I did not know that call was coming. That's her truth. That's her truth. That's all I can tell you. So, don't come for me. Well, you probably will because you're doing it anyway, but don't come for me. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. We're talking about habitual and pathological liars, and sometimes people get tired of people believing lies and they feel like the truth needs to be put out. So there you have it. I don't know where to go from there. Um, so what I do is I just skip right on to this end part, and when I do that, I'll open up the phone just in case y'all want to call in for a minute. Um, so when dealing with the habitual liar, remember, do not lose your temper. You're welcome. You're welcome. Do not lose your temper when dealing with a habitual, pathological, compulsive liar. Do not lose your temper. The second thing, should you confront them about the lie, always expect denial. A pathological liar will always deny what he or she has done. Whenever you say something to them, they may become enraged. Thank you, Bobcat. Thank you so much. They may become enraged initially. They may express shock, like, how dare you say this about me or think that I would do such and such. Um, um, and at times they'll blame you for the things that they have done. So, whenever dealing with the pathological liar, remember that it's not about you. Whatever they are lying about, even if they are calling your name, whatever they are lying about at that particular time, it has nothing to do with you. Even though your name may be called, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. And remember that that person is usually, not all the time, but usually driven by some type of underlying mental disorder that they haven't addressed. So remember that it's not about you. They could be dealing with some type of personality disorder. They could be dealing with anxiety. They could be dealing with low self-esteem. They got a lot of different things that they could be dealing with, and they're using you as their outlet. So remember, it's not about you. Um, the next thing, be supportive. And this sounds funny, right? Somebody lie on you, they tell you to be supportive. But be supportive. Um, if you're confronting them about a lie, let them know, look, you don't have to impress me. Like, I know who you are. You don't have to come and tell me this stuff. I'm going to accept you regardless. Um, but be genuine in what you do. And I saying don't be used, most definitely. Um, this one is very important. Don't engage them. Meaning that if they're telling a lie and you know or you suspect that they're telling a lie, don't engage that lie. Don't go and say, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, tell me more. No, don't engage the lie. As a matter of fact, you let them know that you believe that they are not telling the truth. And as long as they sit there lying, y'all not going to have a conversation. It's that simple. Don't engage the lie. Um, if y'all really in a good place or if they really mean something to you, they're going to get pissed off. But suggest that they get medical help. And I tell you, I promise you, they're not going to like that. But suggest that they go and get some help. And doing that is not to, do it in front of a lot of people to try to embarrass them or shame them or whatever. I mean, if you need to have a sidebar, then have a sidebar. Like, listen, you need to go talk to somebody about what you're doing. Because this is not healthy. It's not healthy. Um, and I'm just skipping now. A couple things that I wanted to leave with you guys. That's okay. That's all right. Um, I said some of this before, but I want to reiterate this so that you guys can understand why the lies may keep coming. These people, the people that engage in this type of behavior, feel more comfortable telling a lie than they do telling the truth. So talking to them and trying to get them to tell the truth, you got a lot of work to do, especially when they've convinced themselves that their lies are actually the truth. The next thing, the person may lie repeatedly about important as well as unimportant matters. It doesn't matter if it's important, they're gonna lie anyway. The next thing, and this is what most people aren't understanding, a person that is a pathological liar, they'll lie even if it causes harm to them, even if it damages their reputation. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. When you lie like that, when you lie like that, there's no, especially if you're in destroy mode, even if it damages your own reputation, you are hell bent on continuing to lie. And that's the next thing. Even after the lie gets exposed, you will still have difficulty with them telling the truth. And we have to keep saying that. Even when the lie is exposed, you will still have difficulty with them telling the truth. A pathological liar knows no truth. Their truth is the truth. So that's why a lot of times you'll hear them say they're telling their truth, right? It literally is their truth. Next thing, and this is a real important thing, a pathological liar will mix a little bit of truth with the falsehoods. That's what makes them believable. So I'm going to say that again. They mix a little bit of truth with those falsehoods, and that makes the lie credible. Y'all seen it. Y'all see it all the time. A little bit of truth. And some guy that I know, I won't call his name, but some guy that I know said that, sometimes people will put, 30% of the truth out there and 70% of falsehoods. And that's how you get your 100%. But that 30% is just enough to get you to believe that story. I'm getting a message from the last caller. Um, she also says, can you please let them know that the sisters are his sisters, and anybody that thinks or says otherwise, you do not know him. That's the message. And the last thing with that is understand that whenever you're getting these lies from these people, this is a form of manipulation. So do realize the manipulation for what it is. This is part of the manipulation. Going back to some of these factors of lying, or possible factors of lying, environment. Environment plays a huge role in whether or not somebody turns out to be a pathological liar as an adult. You have some people that start out as kids, they're taught to lie. You have some people that come up in the type of neighborhoods or the type of environment that that promotes lying. They see that lying works to their advantage. They see the benefits of lying. That's what they learn from. They may see a parent lying all the time. I mean, it just the person may believe that the benefits outweigh the risk of lying. So yeah, they know there are going to be some consequences if they are caught, but the benefits of it all, they feel that it's worth it, so they go ahead and lie. They often use lies as a form of coping, especially for those that have low self-esteem. So you have those that may be dealing with low self-esteem or trauma in the past, and they use these lies to help build them up, and you see that a lot, actually. So they come up with these grandiose thoughts and like really try to convince people that they truly feel this way about themselves when they're really trying to convince themselves that they feel that way. Um, and it's just a cycle. It just keeps going, and nobody wants to address the big pink elephant in the room. Okay, like I said before, there could be some underlying mental health issues um, that are causing some of the lines. So some of those could be you're looking at bipolar disorder, um, ADHD, impulsive control issues, substance dependency, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, and we just talked about that the other day. So it could be an underlying reason for why that person is doing the things that they're doing. Nonetheless, they need to get some help. They need to get some help. Now, when we talk about helping them and we look at treatment, it's very difficult. There's no clinical diagnosis for a pathological liar. There's no DSM diagnosis for a pathological liar. It falls as a symptom, but there's no code. There's no specific code for that. So it just is listed as a symptom. So when it comes down to treatment, oftentimes the therapist ends up treating some other illness that they're dealing with, and that becomes part of that treatment. So in order for a person to even benefit from treatment from the beginning, they have to admit that they have a problem. Just like with a substance, you have to admit that you have a problem with telling the truth. It's difficult for you to tell the truth. You have a habit of lying. You have a compulsion with lying. That is a compulsive behavior for you. You have to be willing to admit that. So that acknowledgement has to take place. The next thing is, you not only have to be honest with yourself, you got to be honest with the therapist about who you are. Because if you come in and you're trying to deceive the therapist, then you're wasting your money. And you're not even wasting the therapist's time, because they're going to get paid. We're going to get paid. So if you're truly trying to get help, then you have to be honest all the way around. You got to be honest about your lying. One of the actual treatment modalities that works really good with compulsive liars or pathological liars is behavior modification. Trying to get people to change those behaviors. But part of that is realizing what you're doing. You also have certain types of psychoeducation and psychoanalysis that could probably help. Well, not probably. That will help with this as well. But ultimately, it comes down to the person being willing, not just attending, but actually being willing and wanting to fix this problem that they have with lying. Because believe it or not, people really do this so long that they do start believing their own lies. And it's hard for somebody that's believing their own lies. It's hard for me or you to try to come and try to convince them otherwise when they've been telling themselves this whole story for years. They've convinced themselves that they're somebody else. They've convinced themselves that, like the last time I was talking to y'all about the psychoanalytic theory, and I mentioned Sigmund Freud and the patient that he had, the lady named Anna O. I mentioned her and how she convinced herself that she was pregnant, and she started going through all the motions and stuff like she really was. You have like some of the stuff that falls under a narcissist. You see some of these same things, but you see them with personality disorders altogether, whether somebody's borderline or whether you have a sociopath. You see some of these same symptoms and people that are dealing with personality disorders. So that's why some of this stuff seems like it's kind of running together. The last thing, how do these pathological people, pathological liars, how do the lies that they put out affect other people, or how can they affect other people? Well, I'm pretty sure you guys are the experts on that because you, me, if you dealt with the pathological liar, then you are an expert of how it can affect people because you know exactly how you felt when the people came at you with that buffale. So it can create a feeling of resentment and betrayal. You heard that on the phone today. Oh my God. You it creates a feeling of resentment um, or betrayal. So you feel like that person betrayed you by being dishonest, by leading you to think that this was true or that was true. Um, so you start resenting them, and you know, you're left with that damages that bond or whatever relationship you had with that particular person before um, you discover that they were lying or had lied in the past. The next thing, it shuts down people's vulnerabilities and their willingness to be open and to share themselves with other people because you're sitting there and you're pouring you're pouring your heart, or you let your guard down so that you can allow yourself or allow other people to get close to you, and then you find out that you have been deceived. Then that willingness you had to be vulnerable with people to let them really see who you are, they pretty much they damaged that. So it's going to be hard for the next person that comes along. They're going to get that hard shell. You have your guard back up now because when you let it down, you know, this came in. But the person that usually indulges in these behaviors, they aren't concerned about that because they're about self. Um, the next thing is it leaves, I'm buffering, it leaves behind somewhat of an omnipresent bitter taste in your mouth. You know, it's always there. It's always there. It doesn't go anywhere. It's always there. Let me see if it's buffering on my end. Okay. But it leaves this bitter taste of doubt in the person. And it's not just them doubting you. A person starts doubting themselves. And I can tell you this for sure. When you go and you're a pretty good judge of character, um, and you feel like you know your sense of righteousness or whatever, it's been pretty good. It hasn't failed you. That sense of discernment, you know, it's been pretty on point, and you allow somebody to get in and allow them to manipulate through lies and deception. It does leave you questioning your own judgment, not just the judgment of the other person. It leaves you questioning your own judgment, like how did I let them get this past me? Why didn't I see this? How could I allow this to happen? So um, it leaves that bitter taste. It impedes the trust that was once overextended. You know, a lot of us, we trust people as far as we can see them. Past that point, trust nothing. But you allow somebody to come in, again, letting your guard down. You overextend that trust to them that you wouldn't normally give to somebody else. And then, you know, they basically boo boo on that trust. Yeah, I'm looking at my phone. I'm not buffering on my well, I'm getting ready to end anyway, so hopefully it'll let me make it to the end. Um, the last thing, it wounds a person's soul. It wounds their soul, and it leaves a visible scar on the soul. Not so much having a visible scar on the outside, but it leaves a visible scar on the soul. And what happens with that is that's the person that other people consider carrying baggage into another situation because those scars, you know, some scars are temporary, they go away. You have some scars that are permanent, They may fade a little bit. They may not be as hard as they used to be. May not be as dark as it used to be, but the scar is still there. So you're leaving those things in place. Now, with the notes that I have, I'm just going to stop right there because I got the gist of the information out to you guys. But I felt like that call that came in, it really touched on a lot of the stuff that I was going to be touching on, because at the end, you heard a person saying that they felt betrayed. You heard a person say that they felt like someone was attempting to take advantage of them. And that's what happens when you're dealing with um, this type of person. That's usually how you're left feeling if you feel like you have been deceived by someone, especially someone that you felt like you had some sort of a connection to. So, it kind of leaves you again with that bitter taste. Leaves you with that bitter taste in your mouth, and it puts you in a place where even if the pathological liar or the compulsive liar, whatever you want to call them, when they come back and they decide to try to tell the truth, it becomes a story of the little boy that cried wolf. He went and he kept crying wolf, and there was really no wolf, and everybody was getting mad because they kept running out, anxiety up, stress up, that adrenaline is pumping because they're thinking that they're going to have to go to war, only to find out the little boy was bluffing. And then there was that day that the wolves did come. And now nobody will believe him because he had called wolf all those times, because he had lied all those times, because he was bluffing all those times. Lord have mercy. Listen, if you want to hear cutting clips from my video and sending my video to people, don't send a part of the video. Play the whole video, because I don't want to miss none of this. So just go ahead and take the video when I finish. When it finishes loading up to the computer, then just hit download and download the darn interview. I mean, not the interview, but the video, and then send the video to somebody. Okay, let me finish first. Can we do that? I'm just saying. But it's those types of behaviors. And the sad thing is that a person that is, doing these types of things, they tend to draw in other people that if they don't do it, they're okay with it. Those people, when I've heard all these people talking about enablers and all that stuff, that's where we start looking at enablers. That is the making of an enabler. When you see people doing all these things, and you're encouraging the lying, you're encouraging those behaviors that are not healthy. That is what an enabler is made of. You are enabling those behaviors. So whenever you do that, then you cannot go and complain about what's going on, or because they came and did it to you because you had allowed those behaviors. You understand? Now, I told you guys before that whenever you confront a person about those behaviors, then you're usually faced with rage, you're faced with anger, you're faced with shock. And we've all been able to witness what that looks like. But you have to weigh the options. Just like I said before, a pathological liar weighs the consequences versus the possible gains that he's going to get out of it. So when it comes to even confronting the behavior, you have to weigh the consequences and whatever in that particular situation as well, because especially in this YouTube stuff, you know that your name is going to be all over the place. You know that you're going to be called everything except the child of God. So you have to ask yourself, are you willing to go through all the backlash that you know is going to come from it because you chose to address deceitful or untruthful, dishonest behavior. So, with that being said, if someone would like to call my line, my phone line is open. The number is 803 888 8268. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. 803 888 8268. Um, if you have any questions or comments about anything that was said or that we spoke on today, or if you have anything that you would like to add to what was said today, um, then I will definitely take that call. Thank you, Jersey Girl. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit that like button if you will, if you don't mind. The next conversation that we will be having will be on obsessive behaviors. And I don't think you guys are going to want to miss that conversation. Um, Thank you, Jersey. Thank you. If nobody has any comments, any questions for me, then I'll go ahead and get on up out of here. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to see if y'all have some questions, comments, reservations, heartburn, whatever. Um, Now I'm piecing the puzzle now. um, but yeah, so I think these conversations are important right now because to look at the whole scene, we're seeing a lot of things taking place, and I know people have sent me messages. Like I said, y'all know I read your responses in the chat, and I know that a lot of people feel shoot. Some people don't know what to feel. You know, Sunny, be lovely. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Some people don't know what to feel. Some people are confused. Um, they don't know, you know, which way is up and which way is down when it comes to this drawn out saga. And at some point, just at some point, jeez, somebody has to tell the truth. And it shouldn't take this much, and it shouldn't take this long for people decide to start telling the truth. And at this point, trying to shut people up for telling the truth is the same thing as muting, and I said it before. So if you're willing to try to go and knock other people's pages off or try to get their videos taken down for simply telling the truth, then you are no better than the people that you are complaining about, because you're trying to mute people that are telling the truth the same way that people have been trying to mute R. Kelly. So what makes you any better than the people that you're complaining about? I'm thinking at some point, I think over the last couple of days, there have been a lot of good interviews put out. There have been a lot of there's been a lot of good information that has been put out. There's a somewhat of a battle of hand from what I know, just from what he said, because I don't know him, but just from what I've been listening to, he sounds like he is, but I can't vouch for him because I don't know him. So I never met him, never talked to him. I don't know. Just listen to his interviews. He sounds like he is, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. I think it's good, just like a question like that. Ask questions, and look. Most importantly, I would say just sit back and observe for a while. Observe everything that's going on. Listen to what people are saying. Listen to what people are not saying. That's the purpose of me doing like these little segments or whatever. So you'll be looking at things with a different lens than you were looking just last week, just to give you a different way to look at things and look at people's behavior so that you'll know what direction you may want to go in or what direction you may want to point towards. But um, with so much deception out here, it's hard. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what his motives are. I don't know Levi either. I spoke to him once on the phone by myself, and one time with a group of people that called me on the phone. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I won't speak ill of him. I think that's something that he needs to let everybody know, if there is one. If that's his cousin and he's supporting his cousin, then do that. I do think that if he's a family member, that he does not need to get caught up in all this mess, because it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Right, right, Henny. What do you think? Um, I'm hoping you guys just watch everything, like for real, like, and instead of asking people to make it make sense, no, because if you got to make it make sense, then it's not real. It's not real. Just look at the stuff that looks. Some of the stuff may not make sense to you, so I don't know if you have to make it make sense, but just look at what's going on and make your own decisions and trust your own discernment. And I know I keep saying it, but that is the most important thing. Like, if it doesn't feel right to you, then it's probably not right. If it doesn't feel right to you, then it's probably not right. If it doesn't feel right to you, it's probably something that you need to step away from. So, um, thank you, Butterflyness. Tell them to trust God, because people discernment be off. I can see that, but then I still say that discernment is a gift that we were blessed with, and there's a difference in discernment and you just, you know, well, I want to feel this way. That has nothing to do with discernment. If you're truly going off your discernment, that's a God-given gift. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. If you're going off this and this, then it'll lead you wrong every time, because the devil can attack those things. But if it's you really going off that gift that you've been given, it's been given to you for a reason. Um, that's just my thought. Y'all don't have to go with that. That's just my opinion. Um, so that's my take on that. But I do believe we were given that gift, And it could be sometimes that when we see the truth, we just overlook it because we don't want that to be the truth. We don't want that to be our truth. That's not what we were looking for. So we tend to overlook things. Um, and then something else comes and we'll say, hey, that must be right. Because you don't overlook what came to you the first time. So it's just a lie. I just want people to be told the truth. Be told the truth. Well, that's what I'm saying, piece in the puzzle. To me, discernment is way stronger than trusting your gut. Because discernment is a spiritual thing. And that's what I'm saying. It's a spiritual thing. So, but I see where you're coming from on that. I see where you and Pico coming from on that. I don't think that we're seeing anything different, but I would always tell people to go, that discernment is not man-made. I agree. And some people may never get it. Oh, shoot. But what some people is referring to as gut, other people refer to as discernment. And that's what I'm saying. It all depends on what your take on it is. To me, gut, discernment, if I feel like it's coming from my gut, that is my discernment. That's a spiritual thing for me. If it's something I just decided to go with myself, like I can tell the difference. Like this is just, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it either way. I'm gonna do it. Like that's my thing now. I'm not telling y'all to agree with that. That's just my personal thing. That gut feeling is discernment. That's my belief. I would say, like I said, there's certain things that I'm not going to address on my channel. Um, Certain things I'm not going to put out there. I can give the information to somebody else for them to put it out there. But I will say this, and all this stuff that's going on, regardless of what anybody says to you, I think so, Pico. Regardless of what anybody says to you, remember, it's not what they call you, it's what you respond to. And it doesn't matter. Try to recognize lies and deceit and manipulation and verbal wordplay and psychological spins. Like, recognize that stuff for what they are. You understand? Yeah, I like the board now. I like the board. I actually like the board. I feel like for him it's something different, and like everybody has their thing, and I think that for him that board that's his thing. So that's something that separates his channel from other channels. So yeah, I like the board. I'll pray this for us all being on one accord and steadily praying in this fight. Right, peace. Right. And I guess I saw Pico put the disclaimer up in there earlier. Whatever was said on there, that did not come out of Dr. Rogers' mouth. Those were the caller that was on the phone. Those were her thoughts. Those were her words. Do not put those words in my mouth. But do I say she was speaking the truth? Absolutely, 100%. Some of that she told you how Mr. Kelly felt on some things, and some of the stuff she told you how she felt on some things. So, right. And I think it helps give him a understanding too, a better understanding. I mean, I do stuff like that. Anything I do, I write it out, or I draw it out on a piece of paper. So, and it's different. But like I was saying, I'm just hoping that you guys just don't let anybody pull the wool over your eyes. When it comes to money, give the money because you want to, or you feel driven to give the money. But whatever you're giving money to, if you're worried about whether or not that money, if, whether the right thing is going to be done with that money, I would say hold it. Unless you're giving with the understanding that, I know what I meant for it to go towards. That's how I treat things. Even if I give money to a homeless person, that's why I usually give them food. But if I give you money for this and you choose to do something different, I'm not responsible for that. I gave with the intent of this because this is what you said. So, um, if it's gonna have you losing sleep, or whether or not stuff is going, wherever, I would just say, trust your gut on that too. Um, so yeah, I think the board is cool. I don't think that's anything deep. Why can't we set up a GoFundMe so everyone knows how much and where it's going? Henny, I think the problem with that, I think the problem with that is you definitely have to find somebody that's going to be trustworthy. Definitely. Um, and for me, if I'm picking somebody, listen, I'm doing background checks. I'm talking about official background checks. We checking everything before we get you the authorization to handle this money. You're going to sign some agreements. We're going to have some contracts. So if something come up and these numbers not adding up right, you gonna be held accountable for it because you are the one that's holding the money. Like I would put so many things in place so that I can make sure, and that the checks and balances wouldn't just be done by one person. It might be done by two or three to make sure that all I's are dotted and all T's are crossed. And you definitely put it on the website so there's a running tally, or just like GoFundMe keeps the thing up there. But if you try to do GoFundMe and put his name in it, they're not gonna let that happen. Um, right, right. Um, Everybody was setting up when they stopped and when he first got picked up, and they had over 30 accounts. Right. So unless you can, find somebody that can really come into the situation non-biased, and they really need to be non-biased. They need to be unbiased because you don't want them putting their emotions up into the money. It needs to be strictly business. Nothing more, nothing less. Like you holding on to this money, you putting the information out, you making sure everybody got the numbers, um, and that's it. And I also think this is just my personal opinion. I think that there needs to be a cutoff. Um, she come on at 7 my time. Oh, okay, I didn't know she was going live. I'm gonna have to call her. Okay. Um, but I think there needs to be some kind of cut. Like, what's your goal? Is there a goal amount that you're trying to reach? Because, and it may sound crazy, but I'm a realist, and I understand that people got bills to be paid and responsibilities, and then we're dealing with this coronavirus. So you don't know what your situation is going to be from one month to the next. If you're being real about the situation, so you know, give a cutoff. Give a cutoff. Um, our goal is to reach blah 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 amount. It would be good if people started asking. Maybe they can see what the attorneys think the actual um, amount is going to be for this particular specialist should they need them. Like, get them to start giving some estimates of some things so you can like focus. Okay, maybe this group is going to put the money to pay for this if he needs this. If it's a specialist in this area, like I just feel like just putting everything out there with no official um there's no, it's not an official go, it's not structured, and it needs to be structured. And that's just when things aren't structured, that's when money gets mishandled. That's when you start having a problem because there's no organization. And when there's no organization, then you leave room for people to mishandle things. So that's just that's where I'm at with it. Um, but for me, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't want that role. I just say that. Um, One day to the next, my client has an 87 for a while. I mean, I don't know about any certified accounts. Um, I'm not sure. I would just, when you're talking about any type of account that could ultimately be holding a large sum or large sums of money, I would just want to make sure that I know what I need to know or what the people that are going to be invested in it, the investors, I think that they should know um, something about the person or the business that's going to be handling it, and there need to be official papers in place, official papers, so that if something's not done right, then you'll know exactly who to hold accountable for what. And I also don't think it needs to be any and everybody. I mean, I think it needs to be a professional instead of just here I'll do it. No, it needs to be a professional. And that's the thing. Again, a lot of things have just been done. A lot of things have just been thrown up there. And I honestly think that's the reason why a lot of the stuff in his camp was going the way that it was going, because a lot of people were just doing things. You didn't have stuff officially written down on paper with this is your role and that's your role and you don't cross this line and you don't cross this line and you stay in your lane right there and he gonna stay in his lane over there. I'm about doing stuff officially. So I'm hoping that whatever is put together is being done on a professional and official level. Then you don't have to have people running around saying, "Oh, this is real. Oh, this not real. Oh, this person got this money. This person." If you do stuff official from the beginning, then you don't have to worry about that stuff. But a lot of times stuff get left out because people like to play with the money. But if the money is for one specific thing, then the money needs to be for that one specific thing and nothing else. Nobody should just be able to go and draw from that account. That, as a matter of fact, there should be no reason that anybody should be drawn from the account anyway until it's time for that money to go where it needs to go. And that's the problem with everything. There's no accountability. Nobody knows anything. The purpose of accountability is for someone to take account. And that's why you have a public accountant, for somebody to take account of the monies that have been collected. So I just, it's just a business thing for me anyway. Um, yeah. And Henny, not just trace. You shouldn't have to trace it. Or I'm saying if somebody set something up, you set it up. They can even get a small website together. That money can be taken from the money that was put in. But they need to give you like everything. If you go and buy something like that account, there needs to be a purchase order with that information on it. Who it was purchased from, like everything has to be documented. Everything. And then they do that website and like you get a actually it should be tallied every day, so it should have a running count. When that money get put in that account, people should be able to see on a daily basis how much money is on that account. Not because I was thinking weekly, but if they set it up right, then there's a running total, just like they would get on GoFundMe. You got a running total, so if people want to know, maybe I want to put an extra whatever in there so that we can try to reach this goal, like we do in church. If we got a rally and we're trying to raise $10,000, then they'll let us know where we are. And then people are like, oh, well, I give this much and I give this much to get you to that goal. And that's what I'm saying. I think there needs to be a specific goal that they're trying to reach. And then if there's something else, okay, well, you do, something else. You start working on another goal. But there needs to be some kind of destination point on this journey. Like, you need to know where you're trying to go. So I would just encourage anybody that's trying to get something started to just make sure that some stuff is in place. Just make sure some stuff is in place. Should we hire an account? That would be my thing. Certified. I mean, a straight up CPA. For real, for real. Um, because ultimately, I mean, even if you pick somebody and they go and they take the money, you know how hard it's going to be to try to get that money back if they steal the money. Like, it's going to be darn near impossible to get that money back. And they may end up having to pay restitution or something, but that restitution doesn't have a end date on it. Like, you pay it when you pay it, and you'll spend more money trying to take people to court to get your money back. So, um, you just have to make sure things are decent and in order. That's just my opinion. Don't listen to me. I'm like LeVar Burton. You don't have to take my word for it. But that's just my thought on it. So, thank you guys for coming out today. Enjoy this Sunday table talk. I wish somebody would have called in so we could have had some conversations today, but I think our caller, said whatever she had to say, and that kind of, you know. Um, but again, I say, whatever was said on the phone call, those were the beliefs, um, words, and thoughts of the caller on that phone. Carolina Diamond is not responsible for any conversation that takes place on the phone and people's thoughts that are on the said phone. Um, so, yeah, she dropped the mic. She dropped the mic. Jersey Girl said, thank you, Jersey. She's putting her PSA out there as always. Practice good hygiene, social distancing, and most importantly, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And guys, you are never too cute to go and put something on your face when you're going out to these stores or doing whatever you got to do. They're showing you how to make your own masks now, the handkerchiefs and old t-shirts and all this stuff. And I know that the masks are supposed to be for okay. I know that the masks are supposed to be for they said the people that are sick, but I mean, if you got your own homemade thing, hey, help protect the people that could be sick. Because right now, you don't know who's sick. So protect yourself. Make your little mask and put it on if you need to go out. So anyway, I have to get the Texas Black. Nothing much. We wrapping up. We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. All right, peace. Y'all keep that little prayer going up for Texas Black to get all that mess out of her system over there. All that. No, you good. Nobody had any questions. Nobody had any questions, so we're good. I did address the stuff about, somebody taking a clip. Look, if you want to tell them what was on the video, then show them the whole video. Phases is going live at 8 o'clock Eastern. Okay. Soap and water. Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna get, hold on, what time is it? Okay, so I'm gonna get off here at 7:15 now, so she'll be going live in 45. So, oh shoot, I'm rhyming. Oh shoot. Coronavirus and turned me into a rapper. But yeah, she'll be she'll be going live in 45 minutes. So go and check her out. Being told that she may have a guest on there as well. Oh shoot, I'm a poet and didn't know it. Okay, but yeah, Wait a minute, she must have changed. Wait a minute, what time did I say? Did I say the wrong time? Alright, so guys, with that being said, I'm gonna get on up out of here so I can go and get me a little mouthful before Phaedra comes on with her stuff. Remember, go and check out all the bloggers. Go and check out all the bloggers. If you feel like they're giving relevant and helpful information, go and check them out. Don't tell nobody that you got to stay stuck in one particular spot. Go check stuff out. Get whatever information that you need to get. If you're not about the drama, don't join in. You know what I'm saying? But just go and you know, get whatever information you think you need to get other people's perspectives because everybody's doing something different. So go check out whoever you need to check out, pull a lot of information together, filter through it, throw out the stuff that you don't need, keep it pushing. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Remember, the next topic will be obsessive behaviors, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all continue to have a blessed Sunday. Bye. If I can get off.